8 years of psych where you're wearing the sharp suits and very, very sharp haircut, and now Kane and Gallivant, which haircut do you prefer?
This one.
Yeah?
Yeah. Thank you. It's funny you should mention the haircuts for Psych, because out of all the characters on that show, he was the most rigid, and he should not have changed his haircut ever. And I changed my haircut every year. It was sort of long, it was floppy, it was high, and like shaved on the sides and long, and shaved my whole head at one time, which made absolutely no sense for the character, but I would get really bored. So that's when I started doing that. And like the beard, I would always grow a beard once we went on hiatus, once we went on break. I would grow a beard, and I worked on a show. You see Jericho?
Yeah.
Okay, so I worked with Richard on Jericho. Someone just squeal?
Peanuts.
What?
Peanuts.
Nuts, yes. You know what I'm talking about. So I grew the beard, and then Gallivant came along. And I used to look like this. I look like, ask Richard. Richard will say, this is the Tim he went to college with, because this is what I looked like for years and years. And I got tired of playing Jesus and drug dealers. And literally, that's what I played Jesus 3 times. Or John the Baptist, or some version of it. And I wanted to be the guy in the suit. And boy, I was the guy in the suit for years and years and years. But I prefer this sort of look. And then when Gallivant came, I just kept growing my beard and kept growing the hair in between season 1 and 2. And now Gallivant is probably no more, so I know. Who saw Gallivant? Thank you very much. Thank you for watching it. Who watched it legally? You're bullshit. But you know what?
We're
I don't care. They're not paying me anymore, so take it. I want everybody to see it. Yeah, so now I've got to figure, where'd you go? Oh my God, you just changed. Oh, there you are. So now, the next look is going to depend on how much someone pays me to cut it off. So, thank you for your question.
Short question. So when you shot Here's Lassie, where you had this psycho killer outfit, was that your own hair? Because you were really fuzzy and beardy.
Oh no, that was all a wig. That was a wig, and that was a wig and fake beard. Yeah. For the crazy guy in the mirror? Yeah, no, that was all. That was all fake. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. First of all, it's lovely to see you. You were actually one of my guests up there that I wanted to come to JIB. I've been here for 5 years, and I've always wanted for you to come so that I could come see you here. So welcome to JIB. Thank you very much for being here.
What part of the British Isles are you from?
I'm just from north of London.
Okay, like Watfordy, or someone's from Watford, right?
Yeah, actually, exactly.
Okay. Are you from Watford?
I am.
Are you really?
Yes.
How did I pull Watford? I know Watford because Vinnie Jones,
Yep.
who played Gareth. I stayed with him a couple of times in Watford. You know, he's obviously he's a Watford boy.
I do. Yes.
So
Oh my gosh.
I've had lovely days in Watford.
Really?
I went to the Hornets. What's the Bees? The football team.
Yeah, Watford.
Yeah, the Watford Hornets.
The
right?
Hornets, yeah,
Yeah.
Vicarage Road.
I went to a football match with Vinny. So it's like we're all
That's
friends.
awesome.
What can I answer your question?
Okay, well, I was going to ask if Cain hadn't been killed off and... Or, exactly.
Not.
Or not, because never say never on Supernatural, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Let me step right there. Did you see the body? Anyway, if Cain hadn't been killed off, yes.
How would he react to everything that's going on with the darkness? Would he be on her side, or would he join forces with Dean and Sam and Lucifer and Crowley and everyone, basically?
By that time, where we last saw him before he may or may not have been slaughtered. he was pretty far gone. I don't think he was coming back to the light from the point he went to. So my answer is A, I don't know. B, dark side, much like Skywalker.
Kane and Amara.
Yeah.
Kane and Amara. Joining forces.
Well, what I pitched to Robbie Thompson a few months ago was that Kane ends up in hell, and he and Rowena start shacking up. I think it would drive Crowley insane, and Ruthie is an amazing actress and just a lovely human being, and I would really like to work with Ruthie. So, if I ever came back, that was my pitch. So, but you can write in your own. Doesn't matter.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Cheers. Bye.
Keep walking, my love. Hello.
Hello, hi. We just want to tell you one word, unicorn.
Yeah, but then Richard gets in. I'm a person. How do you know there's a real unicorn?
Easy. Unicorns are drawn to children and those who are pure of body.
What's that mean, pure body?
Those who have never been with a lady.
This is obviously fake unicorn. It's pretty plenty of...
Do you even care?
Oh, that is it. I've had it with you. I've had it with being embarrassed and with betrayal and with heartache. I am a king, for God's sakes. I'm a king.
You guys! That's amazing.
Come on, Ted Cooper.
That's just an amazing example of what that show was. So in those three scenes you saw just absolute silly, goofy, funny, to that was one of the just
The callback was good.
crying in that scene. Like it was really emotional to do, and it was a breaking point for that character. That's why I loved that job. I know that's not a gallery convention, but that's why I loved that job so much, because those writers, I mean, I got to go from like where he went from the beginning of the series to the guy who says at the end, I'm spoiling it, I have a dragon.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So
Ted
that's perfect.
Cooper.
By the way, unicorns, not as easy to work with as you think, because try not getting poked in the eye when you're like supposed to nuzzle with this thing, and it's like, oh, Jesus. So, thank you very much.
Tim, I don't know if you saw yesterday on Twitter, Karen David asked me to ask you to tell everybody at the convention to actually sign the petition and maybe speak about the petition, what's going on, what's happening.
That's me. So, as you know, our show has been cancelled by the brilliant minds at ABC, and we're trying to find another home for it, whether it be Netflix or Amazon or Hulu or something like that. So there's an online petition right now that you can sign. I think we've got over 10,000 signatures right now. There's a hashtag of more Gallivant. If you want to go on the Twitter, and I'm at Amundsen, it's rather easy to find. You can look for it there, and it'd be amazing. Yeah. I did a little video for Karen and the thing this morning. Just an example of who loved the show. I got a tweet the other day from Luke fucking Skywalker. Mark Hamill. And this morning, David Prost, who was the original Darth Vader, was tweeting me. It's like, unbelievable watching this show. I squealed like a 7-year-old girl at Christmas. I said, I'd come in from, I was in Germany, and came in for a night with the fellas. I might have been drinking. And, you know, it's obviously the time difference, and I'm looking through my Twitter and went, what the fuck?
And really thank you for that, because I saw this tweet, and I wrote him to like post the petition, and he answered my tweet.
Oh, was that you?
It was me.
Oh, come here. That's amazing. So, she brought Luke Skywalker into my life. Ciao.
How you doing?
Hello.
So,
I just want to say that I'm really happy to finally see you here because I've been following you since Psych and then Gavin and now Supernatural, and I'm just so happy to finally see you with my own eyes.
That's very kind.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
So my question is, if you could put any characters from Psych or Gavin into the Supernatural world, who would you put and why?
Sean and Gus versus Sam and Dean.
I'd actually like to see Lassiter in Supernatural in that world, better yet, I'd like to see Sam and Dean come into Santa Barbara Police Station and try and solve, you know.
Maybe working with Sean and Gavin.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That would drive Lassiter out of his mind. And characters in Gallivant, I would love to see Gareth in Supernatural, because he would just pull out his sword and kill everyone, which kind of happens on this show. So I think he'd be great at killing demons, because this movie. But thank you for your kind words about having me.
Thank you so much.
Happy to be here. Cheers. Thank you. Hello.
Hi. Like so many have already said, I'm really happy that you're here because I've been watching you for many years in Psych, and I was Team Lassie the whole time.
Right on,
not Team
thank you.
Sean, not Team Gus, but Team Lassie. And I was like, yes, Lassie.
Awesome.
So anyway, my question was, how was it to transition from Lassie, who was fairly square as a character, then going from Kane and then King Richard was, well, they were three completely different characters.
I'm just a really good actor. That's a perfect example of why I got into this business. I am so blessed and so incredibly fortunate to have had the different kinds of roles that I had. I've had a very varied career, which many actors don't get. And to be able to go, well, it's like one of the reasons I would grow the beard on hiatus, because I like playing bad guys, and guys with beards didn't play bad guys. So I would sort of grow that beard in hopes of getting a part like that. And then when Kane came along, it wasn't that difficult, because it sounds like I'm pandering, but the writing was so good, and I know Robbie. I've known Robbie for a long time, so we were able to go to breakfast, and I was able to find out exactly what he wanted from the character. So from the get-go, we were all on the same page. And then Gallivant came along, and it required a skill set that I hadn't used in years and years, but somewhere was in me. I grew up watching Monty Python. Python, as the Brits say. So I was just sort of waiting. It was the job I've been waiting for my whole career. It'll be interesting to see what happens next. I have no idea. It could be a comedy, it could be something dark. We'll find out what the acting gods have in store. But thank you.
Okay, thank you, and I think on behalf of the whole fans, welcome to the JIB family. We're happy to have you here.
As we try not to disappoint you next day. Yes, hello?
Hi! Oh, well.
Hi!
It's less of a question, and I just wanted to say thank you for Psych. It's my favorite show, and it's my comfort blanket.
Where are you from?
Atlanta.
Goddamn, welcome, sweetheart. Good to see you.
Thanks. And I was just really excited when I saw that you were going to be a guest here.
Thank you very much. I'm excited as hell to be here. You know, I've been crashing supernatural conventions since long before I was on the show. Richard would be doing a show in Vancouver, and I'd be working on Psych, and they'd be doing karaoke, and he'd say, come on down and sing. So I think I've probably crashed at least 4 karaoke sessions years before I was on the show. And I was sort of on this circuit. I used to do conventions. I was on a show called Xena a long time ago. Applause for Xena. So I was I knew what I was getting into by doing conventions, and I made some tremendous friendships on that one with people I never worked with. And the same is for this. I mean, yeah, I do these for twofold. It's amazing to meet you guys and to just, you know, let people know, just to hear how your work affects people, because, you know, you never know. Theater's one thing, but it's really amazing to have someone, you know, tell you they like your work and what it meant. It's an incredible thing. And the other reason is I love the people on the circuit. I love these guys, and you kind of have to be able to, you have to get along traveling the way we do. And it is, I call it this carnival. We're just a bunch of carnies and circus performers on this traveling circus, and I just love them, and we have the best time. So it's sort of a no-brainer when you get offered one of these things, like, oh, do you want to come meet some amazing people and have them tell you that they like your work? I mean, not one time has somebody come up and said, yeah, your cane kind of sucked. So, you know, that's kind of nice. It's a nice ego boost. And then it's like, oh, and get to go drink with your friends and have some nice meals. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you. Safe trip home. Am I taking too long answering? Okay, let me be faster. Stuff nonsense. Yes.
Hi, Tim.
Hi.
So I wanted to ask you, if you could play another role on Supernatural or any other show, what role would you like best?
Or on any other show?
Yes. Any other show you'd watch, of course.
It's tough because everyone, I can't imagine anybody else in these roles on Supernatural. You know,
Maybe you'd like to play Crowley, even though.
Yeah, no, because I really think like once an actor gets it, it really becomes theirs. I always wanted to be on Justified. I never got on that show. It was a great show, Tim Oliphant. Don Draper's one of my favorite characters from Mad Men. I would have loved to have been on that show, but everyone was so good. It's like, John Hamm's amazing. So it's not like I could say, oh, I want to play Don Draper. It's like, no, John Hamm's Don Draper.
Well, you couldn't because you're an amazing actor, though.
Oh, that's very sweet. So thank you very much. So I don't. No, certainly there's lots of shows that I would like to be on, but there's not any other roles I'd really like to take.
Well, okay.
But thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Ciao.
Test. Okay, first of all, I'm sorry that Tamil keeps autographing on your face and hair all the time.
Okay, when I said I really like the guys, you know it's his birthday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, the second thing, my actual question is that I actually had to Google who you are because I don't have TV and I just started watching Supernatural.
I am not offended. That's it.
Yeah. And I actually saw that you were on quite many Star Wars games as a voice actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, which leads to the question that I don't know how it goes. That do you find? Does your manager tell you that you go and find there's this game you can be on?
You know, it's like any other job. I have a voiceover agent, and I auditioned for it and got the job.
Okay.
I got in with LucasArts a long time ago. Like I think 10 years ago, I started doing it. And so there's a couple of guys there who just keep hiring me for that company.
So did you actually have some kind of expectations that what you were going to be? I mean, you were so many times just a general stormtrooper or something.
Oh, no, you just, honestly, you just go and like, I don't even, half the time I show up, I don't even know what I'm gonna play. Other than Eric Jorgen with Knights of the Old Republic. That's the show one, right? Knights of the Old Republic? I swear to God, there's so many of them. Not to sound like a jerk, but I can't pay attention. The coolest day though, one of the very first jobs, was when I went in and, Stormtrooper number 4, which is a lot like, literally you'll do 10 minutes of dying noises. I'm not kidding. It's the hardest work. It's the hardest money I've ever made. But I do whatever the lines were that they prepared. And then they said, okay, do you want to take a shot at the 64-ounce steak nobody's been able to finish? I'm like, sure, what's that? He goes, you want to try Obi-Wan? And I'm like, yeah, I want to try Obi-Wan. So when I was a kid, I was sick all the time, and I had the long playing record of Star Wars. So I had that entire first movie is just memorized. It's on my hard drive. I know every inflection. I know all the actors. And I used to do a pretty good Alec Guinness. So
the most wretched pile of scum.
Most wretched scum and village. So your father likes it. Your father wants you to have it. You know enough. Follow some damn fool idea like a father did. Anyway, I got the damn job, and I was like, Obi-Wan! And they never hired me for it again. But it's on my resume, and you're never going to take that away from me. So is that too aggressive? So, thank you very much.
Hello. So the other actors are trying to get a beard during the Yatzis. Are they getting jealous of your king beard? Which is the most magnificent.
Well, first of all, they're adorable. They're adorable. That's not true. Those men grow damn good beards. We all know Richard Shakespeare. Richard, out of all the casts I've worked with, this group of men and some women grow the best beards I have seen. I saw Jared yesterday, and he's got a beautiful 3 weeks coming in. He's like, oh, it's getting a little, I think I'm like, no, do not touch that beard. It's lovely. Of course they're jealous of the king's beard, because why wouldn't they be? This is awesome. It's funny, I watched that, oh Jesus. I watched that clip, and when I showed up for season 2, obviously my hair was much, much longer, and I just kept growing up. Because he'd been on a ship for 5 months. And plus, I just didn't want to get a haircut. And they wouldn't trim my beard. And my wife, because I looked like a hobo. I looked like a crazy person. And she said, please, can you just trim it? I'm like, no, just for work. I can't. And then I said to our producers when I showed up, like, can we do this? Like, is this cool? Because very often in TV, they just want you to look exactly the same every week. You can never change. And our show was awesome, so they let me do whatever I want. Like, no, and slowly over the course of season 2, I get a little bit of a haircut, we clean it up a little bit, and if you watch the show, I go from being an absolute hermit-looking, insane person to a little more involved. But I saw those first couple episodes, like, Jesus Christ, that's what it looked like? That was insane. No wonder my wife hated it. It was crazy. And I was working on some stuff a few weeks ago, and they asked me to trim it up a little bit, and I was like, okay. That's it. I don't know what the question was, something about how awesome my beard is. Thank you. Hello?
Hi. I love your work both on Supernatural and Gallivant. So I was wondering if Kane and Demon Dean sang a duet on Gallivant style, what would it be about?
Kane? What would it be? Well, Gallivant style, I feel.
Stab him in the eye with a crossbow.
Well, it had to be like, oh yeah, I mean, if they were actually going to sing a song from Gallivant, it could be that one. But if they were going to do a show tune, what would it be? Just Me and My Shadow. That's what it'd be. Just Me and My Shadow. I would like to see them doing that. There's your answer.
That's great, thank you.
I have no idea what that means. Thank you. And there's nobody there. Anybody? That's it over there? You know, just standing over the corner? Okay. Fine, I don't like that sort of their menu. I see what you guys I like.
Hi. First of all, I want to tell you, you look gorgeous in person.
I know, right?
My question is about Galavant.
First of all, where are you from?
Sicily, Italy.
Oh, I thought you were English. Bonjour. Your question, yes.
Some of my friends and I noticed some tension, as in homoerotic tension between Gareth and Richard, and we wanted to know if it was done on purpose or if not, and if you think it's there.
Okay, I believe you're misguided.
Am I?
No, actually you are in that, and I would say if you were correct, I would say no. It was not homoerotic at all. It was absolute fraternal love. They loved each other. I mean, they were best friends from when you got to see that flashback where you first see Richard as a little boy in season 1, and you know, I'm named the king. I'm like 12 years old, and then they say Gareth. He's like, "Oi!" He's like, "He comes up. I shall be your protector for the rest of your life, my king." And it was really the last episode of season 1 where I just so loved what the relationship was. There's a lullaby, if you haven't seen it, there's a lullaby that I sing because he's broken my heart.
Exactly. And like during season 1, I think it could be fraternal or like friendly, but during season 2, it was so like homoerotic to us. We all thought that.
With Gareth?
Yes.
Gareth? Is that what he says?
Yes.
Going back to King Richard.
And then the unicorns. We actually thought you were going to come out as gay because of the unicorns and Gareth and all of that.
Oh no, but he was, again, that's the difference between someone being virginal and innocent. Just because they're innocent and sweet and unspoiled by the anger of the world, even though he killed people, versus, you know, that softness meaning he's gay. No, not at all. And I'm trying to think, we barely, unfortunately, we didn't really work together a lot. I don't think I worked with him at all.
Did you watch the show when it was finished, like edited and all?
Oh god, yes.
Okay.
I don't even think I worked with Vinny. No, I didn't work with Vinny until we're in Morocco at the very end. Right? Because I was off on another thing, so season 2.
It was like, yeah, but you really missed him, and he really missed you, and it was like, he was trying to replace you with Madalena, but he couldn't.
Oh no, he wasn't trying to replace me with Madalena.
Well, okay.
He liked Madalena. Have you seen Mallory Jensen? Who wouldn't like Madalena? No, it was early on because it just shows how lost Richard was. Like, he had nothing. Even his best friend in the world had turned on him, and it wasn't that his boyfriend turned on, it was just his best friend. But truly, that lullaby. And by the way, Vinnie Jones, you all know who Vinnie Jones is, right?
Yeah. He was a
Who
terrible
doesn't know who
footballer.
Vinnie Jones is?
He's a terrible footballer.
All right, we're not going to get into that. He was certainly a dirty footballer.
Yeah.
But Vinnie Jones, is a hell of an actor. Like, the work he did, season 2, was absolutely gorgeous, and it was romantic, and it was sensitive, and it was funny. And he would be like, "Oh, fuck off, Tim, I'm not." Like, I told him, like, something happened season 1 and 2. He blew my socks off. He was so amazing. So, there's a big gesture.
Thank you.
Cheers. Oh, it's over here.
That is rich.
I did that with my mind.
First of all, I want to thank you to be here. I love Kane, and King Richard is one of my favorite characters ever, so I'm really happy to have the chance to see you in person.
One of my favorite characters ever too, so thank you.
I was wondering if, in your opinion, the relationship between Kane and Amara will be could have been the same as the one between Dean and Amara. You know, that kind of attraction, but trying to resist. No.
I don't know, and it's, you know, it's tough for me to really foretell what characters would do. I mean, that really is. I only did 2 episodes of the guy. I mean, I had certainly, you know, I had a big part in creating and who he became, but ultimately that came down to Robbie Thompson and Robert Barons. Thank you.
Bobo.
Hey, it sounds like Richard Spade.
I'm just back here to feed you information when you don't know the answers. Well, you looked one direction. I guess maybe the other one?
Yeah, dude, just, you know, they just got so excited you're here. So there's your answer. I have no idea.
I'm just gonna stand here until you figure out it's me.
Did you bring something for your friends?
I'll be right back.
Thank you. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Hang on, how many more questions? I don't want to...
Don't just keep answering until I get back.
Okay, answering.
You have more panels.
I'm Julia. Hi. So my question is, as a person, do you relate more with Kane or King Richard? Because I empathize so much with Kane that I tattooed the mark of Kane on my arm, and so.
Well, I hope for my family's sake that I feel more King Richard than Kane. Although my wife and I were in a fight the other day, and she maybe was saying I was an asshole. Not entirely, but she was like, maybe this is when you play somebody. I got to find out something, and I lost my temper about something. And she's like, maybe this is why you play all these dark assholes all the time. You're so angry. So there's certainly, there's elements of me in everything I play, because that's much easier than making it up. So there's a vengeance and a righteousness that I identify with in Kane. But for Richard, certainly this season, like that feeling lost and feeling like you don't belong, all that insecurity, that's all definitely me. So I would identify more with Richard. I'm a romantic at heart, and I think he is, and he just wanted to be loved, and God knows I wouldn't be an actor if I didn't. Love me, please, that's why I come to conventions. So Richard.
Said he came up with no beer.
So Tim, I brought you, okay, all right. Now you're just doing a thing. I brought you a beer, but rather than serve myself, I also brought a beer boy. Oh, beer boy! Serve Mr. Amundsen his beer. Now kneel, beer boy, kneel.
That's the best looking beer boy.
You know
I've
what,
ever seen.
you should never hire a beer boy with a bad knee.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
You're
Thank you, beer boy.
You're welcome, Timothy Amundsen. Do you know that Timothy Amundsen and I have known each other for nigh on 30 years?
Nigh on 30 years, Ricardo.
30 years. I know you're thinking to yourself, you guys aren't even 30 years old.
That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't work. You meet each other in utero? As zygotes? No, we've known each other for a long time. We went to, and I'm dropping the article here on purpose, we went to university together.
Well, we did, didn't we?
We sure did, mate. We attended college together.
And so I'm not going, what? You went to university?
that's the shocking part.
How'd you get to college?
We went to university together, and then Tim did a television show for 19 years called Psych. And great show, long-lasting show. And when he was doing Psych, Tim, and not only have we known each other forever, but he also knows Robbie Thompson from Jericho, which is a series that Tim did.
And you did.
With a young Rich Bates. So, Timmy did Jericho with Robbie Thompson and me. Then Timmy's doing Psych. And Timmy knows that I'm doing Supernatural conventions every 5 minutes. And Tim says, I'm on television. And by the way, Rich, you're not, but I'm on television every week. Your Supernatural fan base is enormous, and they're cool and fun. I want to be a part of that world. So Tim would actually come at my invitation to conventions in Vancouver and Los Angeles, California. And do karaoke and be dashing and everything. Imagine this Tim with a Class A haircut and shave, you know, like ready for the service. The Psych era, Tim Amundsen would come and do this. And he would do it so often that I think Robbie Thompson wrote the role of Kane, which he wrote for Tim. I think he wrote that role for Tim just to give Tim a raison d'etre, you know, a reason to actually be there, so he could get paid to do it. I mean, in many ways, it's like he felt bad for you.
It's getting a little pathetic, Tim.
You're around a lot, so we better just give you a role. So that's how the magic happens. So if you enjoy Tim Amundsen's work on Supernatural, you have me to thank, and you're welcome. Absolutely true. I gave them Timmy-O.
You're welcome.
Something else you should know about this weekend, people. And I have this straight from the horse's mouth, this being the horse. Tim is going to be doing a lot of costume changes this week. He already changed from the walk this morning to this thing. I know, this is not, I'm not...
Because some of us have class, Richard.
I'm just, because, Richard, you see, some of us have class.
Wait, this is called a cravat.
It's called a cravat, Rich. Grow a pair. Here's the thing. Tim is going to change a lot because Tim has been in Europe for a long time, hanging out, brought a lot of clothes. Then, cue montage music, went on a shopping spree with his buddies yesterday. Blink, 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 blink. And so Tim has a lot of new clothes and old clothes, and it's a mix-max heaven. So he has a weekend of con left, then you go home. So he's going to be wearing a lot of clothes. I'm very excited. You could literally be in a photo op line with Tim, get your photo, forget your bag, come back to get your purse, and he would have changed. He's going to be like Carol Channing on Broadway. It's going to be literally big hats and skirts. We don't know what he's going to be doing, but now I'm building it up so you have to follow through. You'll be changing clothes a lot. So we have that to look forward to.
Also, in my defense about the shopping spree, I happened to send all my dirty clothes out to be laundered because I didn't have time to do it, and realized they weren't going to be back in time.
Hey, nobody's blaming you for the shopping spree. I was a part of the spree.
I know, it's a great jacket, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Glad I helped you pick it out.
Kapow, Jason Vance, Rob Spindle-Lot Benedict. Rob
who's walking around just like, oh, you okay? Like, yeah, I'm just trying not to be interested in anything because I don't want to spend any money. Cut to
Robbie with the biggest bags. It was like,
well, we were there a long time. And I thought you were spending money.
Miracle on 34th Street shopping. Sort of like,
it's like you're all here too long, goddammit.
Yeah, that's what happens. But again, if you like what Tim's wearing this weekend, at any time during the weekend, once again, you have me to thank. So I'm bringing you not only Tim Amundsen to the show, Tim Amundsen on the show, Tim Amundsen dressing up for a convention. Answer a question.
Yes, hi.
Hi. My question actually works for both of you, if Rich is around there too.
Sorry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. My part. We're just going over here.
So after you talked about Thrilling Adventure Hour last year, I caught up with the podcast absolutely.
Which, I'm sorry, do you know, who knows Thrilling Adventure Hour? Okay, not many of you.
But podcasted.
Yeah, it's
hilarious. And by the way, you have me to thank for Richard Spate being on Thrilling Adventure Hour.
That's true.
There.
That is true.
Tit for tat.
You know what? Checkmate.
Yes, darling.
So I absolutely loved the podcast, and I wondered if you could talk about your favourite character that you played on the podcast.
Oh, favorite character from the Thrilling Adventure Hour podcast. I'm going to go first because I've done it a lot fewer times than Tim, so it's easier for me to choose. But they had me play a Jabba the Hutt type character, which was funny because they wrote dialogue that didn't match the Jabba the Hutt character, but I said it in a big guttural laugh character voice, and it was super, super fun. And they had one, I can't remember, Josh Molina, somebody, one of the really funny cats doing that. sidekick.
This show is, since most of you don't know, it's a podcast. It's called Thrilling Adventure Hour. I don't know, they've been doing it for 10 years. It's 100 episodes. It's great for actors because it's a live theater, live audience. You show up, everybody gets dressed up real fancy. They hand you a script pretty much that morning. They email it to you that morning.
I don't think it's that morning. I mean, I've arrived to get them 30 minutes before the show.
You have a quick run through. It's a radio show, so you read it in front of the audience. It's super easy to do. There's a band, there's music, there's singing.
But you end up with, the truth of the matter is, you end up with some of LA's sharpest comedic minds writing it and performing in it. It's super smart comedy.
And then they bring in guest stars, of which Richard and I are friends of the show.
Friends of the show.
And you never know who else is going to be there. Like one day I walked in, I was like, oh, there's fucking Michael Sheen. Michael Sheen.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know,
Way back in days of old, there was a hero known as Caliban.
They're playing your song. Time to go for you now. I think they're playing you off. I think the orchestra just struck up.
Thank you. I'll ask you again.
I liked my gay fishmonger.
Ladies and gentlemen, T.O.